Non-Ytpc piping artist Steph here. It's a really nice day out. It's about 65 degrees. I mean, it's getting a little cloudy, so let's hope it doesn't rain on me before I get this video done. So I'm not smoking because I don't know where my cigar cutter is, and I was gonna do a little acid blonde cigar, but can't find my cigar cutter, and I already had a pipe this morning. I'm gonna have another one this evening, so I am just gonna jump on here real quick and do a little video about my favorite YouTubers from 2018. This isn't actually my idea. I'm gonna leave a link in the basement to Samuel Daram. He is actually a YouTuber that Phil Osteen did a response to, and I thought it was such a great idea that I decided I'm going to come out here and I'm going to go ahead and also do a little response to him. I'll leave links down in the description of everything where you can find his original video, which was YouTubers that made an impact in my life in 2018, and he has it as hashtag favorite YouTubers of the year. Samuel is not in the YTPC, but I really liked the idea, and after watching Phil, I was like, oh, I've got to do this video. So happy Monday to everyone. School starts here tomorrow for all of us, so I don't know how often I'm gonna be able to get on because I've got my homeschool classes I teach here at the house, and I've also got Tupperware, and the kids are back in public school. Bree is going to be homeschooling again this semester, so it's going to be pretty busy, so I'll try to do some paintings and stuff, but until then, I'm going to just do this little VR for Samuel Daram. He had 11 questions, and his parameters were you can't choose two. I'm going to do some honorable mentions, but then choose my actual one to answer each of these questions. And it's not all YTPC members because he's not one. But he did ask about in your niche, in your group, also questions. So the first one was your favorite low budget but high value YouTuber, and this one is not a member of the YTPC. He's actually a good friend of mine, and I know that he just uses his phone. A lot of the YTPC members and a lot of people I watch do have a low budget, you know, a cell phone or a tablet, and they don't have the speakers, they don't have all this, you know, grandiose equipment. But I believe that this particular YouTuber, he doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but he comes from a really interesting background. He is an artist. I absolutely love his art. It's Will Holland. He explains his art. He gives you a little history of things that he likes about the character he might be drawing. So as I go through all these 11 that I picked, I'll give you a little reason why I picked them, and I'm also going to leave a link to their channel in the basement in case you guys want to check them out. So low budget, high value YouTuber would be Will Holland. He does his own sketching. It's his own style of various popular characters in the anime world or the DC or Marvel universe. Or just great. He describes the reasons he likes certain characters, and he's drawing the whole time. Sometimes he'll do story time with Will, so check him out. He was who I decided hands down was, you know, he has a low budget. He uses his TV or tablet, I mean his phone or a tablet, but I really like the value of his work. His artwork's really good. He describes everything to you as he's going. So that's my number one question. The second question was the best commentator to my videos. I actually had to make a list. I had to make a list there. And I went through and I was like, there's so many people that have been supporting me over the last year on my channel and who have commented almost every single video. So I have to say, you know, the PG-13, Kevin Twiner, Aussie Bulldog, Ben the Bagpiper, ARTFUL, CODGER, Ghost Cobbit of the Shire. These are all people who I noticed, and even Phil, over several times have commented on many of my videos. However, even though several of them commented on several of my videos. I had to do a tally on my last like 10 or 15 videos, and Kevin Twiner, hands down, did the most comments and was very, he's always telling me how awesome my artwork is. They chime in, he chimes in during my live videos a lot, and there's so many people that, you know, in the YTPC who actually watch us, and some who are not in the YTPC who watch my channel, and so I have to thank all of them. But since the parameters were yet to pick one, Kevin Twiner was definitely the one who had the most comments, and I think even from day one, like my first few videos over a year ago, so I'm almost a year and a half now, he had the most from the very beginning until now, and then the most recently as well. So I'm gonna have to say Kevin. So thank you for all your comments. He's phenomenal, and he definitely supports me in the very little I know about tobaccos and pipes, and he's been really awesome. All right, and number 3 was, well, who makes my day? Which YouTuber makes me smile? And I have several people that I love to check out on a daily basis. And I know this is really funny, but Septiceye, top of the morning to ya. He cracks me up. He makes me smile. He's got honorable mention. He's not my choice. He's one of my daughter's favorites. And anytime my daughter and I want to sit down and watch something together, we usually pull up some of his videos, and he cracks me up. Sometimes I don't agree with his language because, you know, Play-Doh! Poppy, come on! Okay, our dog likes to dig under the fence and get out, so I'm going to pause this for a second, put him in the house so he doesn't get out of the yard again. Alright, sorry about that. Play-Doh likes to get out and roam the neighborhood. He's real friendly with all the other dogs in the neighborhood and all the families in the neighborhood, but he gets driven home a lot by some of our neighbors. So we have a hole under the fence we're fixing this week. We've got a yard guy coming in to do that. So we'll get him to stay in the yard. So I had to put him inside. Anyways, my day maker, people that make me smile. So Septiceye makes me smile. He's an honorable mention. Sargent Savinelli, he cracks me up. I love sharing his little anecdotes, his little jokes. He hasn't done that many lately, but those two are my honorable mention. But one that I actually, if I'm feeling really blue and I'm not really looking for something in our niche, in our YTPC, I will look up Blimy Cow. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Blimy Cow, but being a homeschool mom, he's hilarious because he was a homeschool student, not of mine, just a homeschool student, and he has some of the funniest stories, and it cracks me up, and it's something I can share with my kids. So my actual choice for someone who makes me smile is Blimy Cow because he's absolutely hilarious. But I did have 2 that were honorable mentions, and one of them's real big up there, and I don't expect him to ever even see my videos. So honorable mentions, Sargent Savinelli and Septiceye, but Blimy Cow is my choice for the one that makes me smile. Most generous YouTuber of the year, I did also go with someone that is in the YTPC. There's so many YTPC members. It's such a community. It's such an amazing family. Everybody helping everybody out, getting things to help out those who have, you know, illnesses or need to move or do anything. But the Bumbling Piper, he has gone above and beyond with helping out people who, you know, needed to move or needed to have medical expenses, help with that. So he's always one, and I've seen him send yabos to people. So I went ahead and went with Bumbling Piper as the most generous YouTuber of this past year. I don't know all of everything that goes on in the YTPC. I try to keep up, but within our group, I think he has done, personally in my view, so much for everybody in the group. So I'll go with that. Okay, number 5. Who taught me most about the YouTube process? I'm gonna have to say that there's 2. I'll do honorable mention for myself because I had to do a lot of looking stuff up on my own and figuring out how to edit my videos on my own. But Phil Osteen, he had a lot of stuff to say about I don't know, not necessarily just how to make the videos and whatnot, but I liked how I've always liked, he was one of the first ones I subscribed to in the YTPC, so seeing how he presented and how it was very conversational with everybody that was watching, it felt like you were sitting there having a conversation with them, and that's how I wanted to present as well. So I'm going to have to put him down as helping me get my process going. Which YouTuber inspired me the most this year or got me involved this year? Well, I'd have to say it was the Peachies, because they're the ones who helped me get started in this channel. They're the ones who promoted my channel. They're the ones who their videos were so amazing to me. I've always wanted to be a traveler, and I've always wanted to go see things, probably, which is why Anna and I are such good friends and have been for forever, at least 2 weeks. So I'm gonna say they inspired me most, and they were always like, keep doing your thing. It doesn't matter what anybody else says or does, just keep doing your thing, and you're doing awesome, and just be you. And they were very inspirational this year for me. Who do I think is a great ambassador in my group? There are so many amazing YTPC members. We have so many that I can think of that show you how to clean your pipes, or how to, you know, pack your pipes, or how to make good tobaccos and that sort of thing. But I think as far as an ambassador, being kind and open and generous, and he doesn't even focus on himself, I'd have to say it's Simon from London Calling, because he really just chit-chats. He shows what he talks about, how amazing the community is. He talks about pipes, he talks about tobacco, and he's a really good ambassador because he's showing that it's not just about the presenter, and it's not just about what you look like, or what amazing things you have to share with everybody. It's the community, and how it's one thing that brings us all together. And I like the way he presents, how it's always him driving or at his desk, and he's showing the pipes and the tobaccos and different things. He's not ever focused on himself. So I think he is the epitome of what the YTPC is. A lot of people do like to focus outward. We do all have our own faces, not all of us, but most of us show our own faces and do our own little individual presentations, however we do that. But he is just a great ambassador. Derek Tant, you're getting honorable mention because you're very inviting to people, and you're very awesome about letting people know that, hey, it's not a big deal. Don't get your panties in a ruffle. Be out there, enjoy it, enjoy the people. So you were a close second, but London Calling, Simon, he knows how to make people feel welcome when they're on his page, and if people are live, he joins even people who don't have many subscribers like myself. He remembers people's names even if they only have a couple of subscribers themselves. So that's my answer for that one. And which person outside of my group, outside of my niche, consistently attracted my attention? I had a couple of people. That I wanted to mention, but then I realized one of them was actually in my group. So I didn't realize that George Bruno, who loves to push buttons, he's getting honorable mention, but he's not going to be that because he is actually a YTPC member. He likes to push buttons. He attracted my attention because he is very straightforward, and I appreciate that in a presenter. But since he's in the he is about tobacco and pipes also, it's kind of a side. He has several different things he does, so I decided I couldn't put him in there. High Impact Flix, I don't remember the guy's actual name, but he doesn't take sides politically. He's one that I see pop up all the time, and I'll just see what he's saying. And I love how in this time currently in our country, the political divisions are so, the rift is so huge, and he kind of takes it right down the middle, and he's like, you know what, both sides are messed up, you know, deal with this and deal with that. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting. So, but he is not the one I actually chose. Sometimes I'm not really into watching his show, but That's Brad. Okay, That's Brad is someone outside my niche, outside my group, who absolutely, anytime I see a video of his pop up, I have to watch it. He does magnet fishing. He lives in England somewhere, and he does magnet fishing and finds all kinds of really cool stuff in all the ditches and ravines and waterways around where he lives, and travels all over England finding places to do his magnet fishing. And I know there's a huge group of them, but he's the one I watch, and he's actually gone through some depression and other things, so he makes me feel like he's a friend. Like, even though we're not in the same group, he remembers my name when I go onto his live videos. He comments to, he tries to comment to everybody who leaves comments on his video, and I always want to watch him. He's even if he's having a rough week, or he's finding stuff or not finding stuff, I enjoy his content. I enjoy the things he talks about, and I enjoy him as a person. So That's Brad is going to be my outside my niche that constantly attracts my attention. So now we're on number 9. Which YouTuber from an unrepresented demographic dazzles you? This one was a hard one, because I've got an unrepresented demographic. If it's inside my niche, it would definitely I would have to go with the same answer as Phil Osteen. Scoop with the uke. She's young. She's female. She works with children. She's really just an interesting. She's a nerd like me. We dig cosplay at this, and she has this own little thing of her own. Sometimes she wears big old bow ties. Sometimes she talks about her work. Sometimes she just talks about pipes or something she went through, or cigars, and she's young. I mean, younger than some of the young presenters. So I think she definitely dazzles me in our group. Now, if I would have to pick someone outside of our group, ABL, it's Anthony Brian Logan. I check in with him every so often, and if he pops up in my feed, sometimes I'll watch, sometimes I won't. I'm not really on either side of the political agenda completely. I don't agree with either side, but Anthony Brian Logan is a Black American conservative, and that's not very common. So he is underrepresented, I think, as a whole on YouTube. There's not as many Black conservatives who will say, hey, this is what the news is saying, this is what is going on YouTube, this is what's going on, and this is how I see it as a conservative and as a Black man. So I watch his stuff every once in a while. So I gotta say, there was one inside my group and one outside my group. So both of them, I think, are very unrepresented, and they both dazzle me because they're not afraid to be themselves. And whether I agree with Anthony Brian Logan or not is irrelevant. I just think that he dazzles me because he's so honest in how he feels and how he thinks, and he's very well spoken, and I like his videos. And he says, I digress a lot. Well, I digress, but I digress, and I just think that's just the cutest thing. So I like them both. So I had to do one in my group and one out of my group for that answer. I know he said pick just one, but I kind of split the question into two, in my group and out of my group. Number 10. We were on number 10. Which YouTuber will get bigger in the next 12 months? Again, I have one that I watch that's not YTPC, and then I have one that I watch that is YTPC. So outside of my niche would be Mixed Media Girl. She has gotten really huge this year. I think she's only going to get bigger. Her artwork is phenomenal. She does giveaways, and she gets a lot of packages. So she's very interesting, and she had enough money this year to build a studio for herself. So not just a small little section. She has now this really big studio, and So Mixed Media Girl, she's awesome. And I'm going to leave a link for all of these folks down in the description. But within my niche, it's got to be NC Piper and Nelly. She is new. She has under 200 subscribers. I think she's currently at like 120 subscribers, but she just beams when she talks about environment and the people around her, and the love of her life, and pipes and tobacco, and she's a good presenter. She has a wonderful voice, very kind, very giving, and very knowledgeable, it seems like. Well, she says she's not, but she really is. I've watched several of her videos, and she seems to really know a lot more about pipes and tobacco than some of the other newcomers, even though they enjoy it. And we all start somewhere. She knows more than me even, and I have almost 500 subscribers now, so I just think she's awesome. I think she is going to get huge. I think she's going to get huge responses in the next 12 months. So number 11, my max value to their viewers, the overall favorite YouTuber of 2018. And I didn't write anything down, and I had someone picked, and I kept going back and forth because who really just did it for me this year? Who made me laugh? Who you know, could I connect with? And I have got to say that out of all the YouTubers I watch, I think this was the hardest, because I want to pick someone in the YTPC, and there are two gentlemen that I adore watching and love listening to their stories, and love listening to, you know, the banter back and forth. One of them sometimes banters back and forth with his wife, and he's awesome, and they're both in England. So I'm guessing you guys could know which one it was a toss-up between. It was Cobbit of the Shire or Beard, and I'm going with Beard because of the music aspect. Skip and I are huge music fanatics. Music has been a way for me to survive the hard times and to remember the good times. Music has just been such a great thing for me. And he always has these cute little stories about when he first heard that album, and he shows the album, and he has beer, and he has, you know, and his dog always comes in and, you know, gives him some loving during the video. So for me this year, my absolute favorite YouTuber is going to be Beard. So there you have it, folks. My 11 favorite YouTubers. And if you want to do this VR for Samuel Daram, I will leave that in the basement, as well as all of my, there's actually 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. I know there's only supposed to be 11, but there's 2 of the questions I had to do an inside my group and outside my group answer. So, because you can't just choose one or the other, because the YTPC is one group and the rest of the YouTube community is the rest of the YouTube community. So, and as you guys can see, I do like a lot of artists, because being an artist myself, I tend to get drawn towards that more. So I'll leave descriptions and links down below, and thank you guys for chiming in, and hugs to you and yours, and you guys enjoy the spring semester, and hopefully I'll get some paintings done in the next few weeks. So thank you everybody for chiming in, and you guys have a great afternoon or evening. Cheers.
Now I'm here.